Hi, and welcome to another episode of Six Star Talks. It's your girl, Evie, and tonight we have an exciting show for you guys. We have a former participant of the Film Stars Project here with us in the studio, and his name is Jonathan. Jonathan, how are you doing this evening?
I'm doing amazing. How you doing, Evie?
I'm doing great. I'm so excited to have you here because you're like literally one of my favorite people. Yes, definitely 100%. Before we get into the show, can you tell us about yourself? Like, who is Jonathan? Break it down.
Well, y'all can call me Hazima.
Yes.
I'm going by Hazima these days. But yeah, that's my middle name.
Yes.
But I mean, if I were to describe myself, I'd just say I'm just a John of all trades, trying to be a John of all trades. You know, I don't like limiting myself. I definitely believe that there's no limit in just about anything. So yeah, I'm just a John of all trades, trying to learn as much as I can.
That's exactly who you are, because every time I see you're constantly looking to improve yourself, and whatever you can get your hands into, you do it, and you do it so well.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, Hazima. I remember when you initially came in, you're like, no, I'm not going by Jonathan, it's
No more
Hazima.
John.
But you know, in my mind, it's still there, right? So in October, you took part in a symposium talking about gang and street involved youth. Can you let us know about that? Like, when you went in to talk, what key points did you touch on?
Well, I definitely touched on my own lived experience a bit and why I was in that room to begin with. I definitely touched on my journey after high school into university, and definitely touched on my Film Stars participation. And I sort of wrapped it all together in a neat little bow. And I delivered it to the audience in a way where it's like, this is what helps. And I'm saying this as a person who went through what we're all here talking about, you know? So I feel like it was really transformative, at least for me, you know?
Yeah.
Hopefully I was able to capture a little bit of the room.
Yeah, I have no doubt that you absolutely did. You have this amazing presence about you, just this light that's constantly glowing from you. How did you feel speaking to the people that were there, like to the audience?
I was shaking. Like, maybe not literally, but inside I was shaking. Like, I feel like because it was an academic setting, I was a little bit more used to it because I went to university. I've been in so many lecture halls. I'm comfortable in lecture halls. I just never been the lecturer, you know?
Yeah.
So for me to stand there and realize I have so many ears and eyeballs on me, it's like, whew, pressure. But I said what I wanted to say, which was the main thing I went there to do. So I was happy about that.
Yes. So what was the main inspiration behind you doing the speech? I know you touched on like being part of your community and dealing with those issues.
Yeah.
Like growing up, what was that factor, like that one thing that you're like, okay, yes, I have to do this?
I don't think it was necessarily a single factor, more so, I guess, just how I was raised. Like, I have siblings, you know, so it's not like I'm an only child, but I definitely grew up a lot in isolation. So I understand the power of presence and the value of it, you know? Having people present, I feel like shouldn't be taken lightly, you know? So I sort of feel like because of the way I grew up, I don't know if you know about Avatar.
Yes,
like
of course, Airbender.
Of course.
Yes.
So it's like, not like
both
I
of
have
them and Korra.
Yeah, shout out Korra. I don't know why people would be dissing Korra.
I know, it was so
I mean,
good.
the studio had its troubles, but
Yeah.
I think they did their
They
thing.
did a good job. They did a good job.
Anyways, I don't feel like I'm angry or anything, but I definitely feel like because that show impacted me from such a young age, it taught me about like seeing the connection, seeing how we're similar before we're different, bringing balance, peace, you know? So I always tried to be that in whatever group setting I've been in. So going to school in Malvern, Mother Teresa, like it's quite the neighborhood, you know? And it's a lot of culture and character, and honestly, I probably wouldn't be who I am if I didn't go to that high school. And it's like I grew up in the neighborhood because even before I went to high school, I was a part of this camp counselor project called Focus on Youth, you know? Footsteps to Success summer camp. So I've been in the neighborhood, and I sort of got to meet a lot of different people from a lot of different backgrounds, you know? So I ended up having a lot of homies that, you know, came from housing, came from high risk areas or across the street, like Empringham, you know, cross tracks. Like these are places I never really knew about because I went to school, then I went home, you know? I wasn't the type to just
You're
hang
a good
out.
youth.
A real good youth. African youth, you know? Honestly, back in the day, the biggest reminder that sort of reminded me how different I was that a lot of the other colored boys at school from different places, they were getting so excited when school would get canceled. And I just had such a hard time understanding why. Because I'm like, you guys want to be at home?
Yeah.
And then they're like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, stuff must be different over there. Like,
Yeah.
But yeah, I've just always kind of tried to apply a sense of balance to everything in every room. So for that room specifically, I felt like I had to because I went through the mental health program that Film Stars is, and it's not the only program I went through. So I know the power of not being punitive when it comes to like dealing with justice, but like, you know, trauma informed, you know, sort of rehabilitation, I feel like is the way to go. So yeah, being a person that's went through a lot and a lot of transformation, I felt like that room was one that I was always meant to be in and I was eventually going to step into. I just definitely didn't think it would be this early. Like I just graduated a couple of years ago, you know, so
Yeah.
for me to get out the lecture room to go and hop back in it as a lecturer, it was kind of an experience. So shout out, you know, people that got me there, CTI, Dr. Ellis.
Yeah, you know,
Chuck.
Yeah, of course, Chuck. And Chuck we trust. If you can't trust Chuck, then who can you trust? But you said that you grew up in isolation. Do you feel like it was self-selected, like you put yourself in that situation? Or do you feel like it was just what you were around?
Not even necessarily what I was around, more like the lack of what I was around, which is like my siblings, because they're older than me.
Okay.
Like well older than me. My sister's the one closest to me, and she's 8 years older than me. So it's not like I could expect her to always be at the house when I'm at the house, right?
All right.
So 20% self-chosen, because I could have went outside and been like, hey, what kids are on the street? But I wasn't really like that. I'd rather just watch reruns of my favorite show, Scrubs, or play video games, you know, read a book. So definitely maybe not a lot of choice, but a lot of circumstance. But I believe it's all about like nurture over nature, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So,
but that nature has a lot to do with it as well, right?
For sure.
I definitely.
Naturally.
Yeah, 100%. I feel like it's caused you to have such a presence, you know, to be able to command the room and be so gentle. So you definitely see there's a lot of introspection when it comes to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I've never heard that before.
Yeah, just in case you didn't know, now you know. But why do you feel like these type of activities and like symposiums addressing these topics are so important?
I feel like because they're buildable, you can always build upon them, you know? I feel like at a point it gets beyond just giving people a voice or a stage to be visible on. It's more so like, what's the real solution? You know, and I feel like the more diverse the room is, the more problems we can overcome together, you know, because we have a wider database to rely upon, if you know what I'm trying to say. Like, I feel like that room bring together social workers, the police, educators, mans like me. It was really good. Like, I don't know. I feel like that's where real change starts, or if not starts, gains momentum, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
So they're crucial. They're vital.
Yeah, it's extremely important because you can know about something, but unless you lived it, you don't really know. And to be able to bring all those different avenues together in one space, it allows, like, you know, allows everybody to get to know each other and like really understand.
Yeah, have like a shared understanding.
And that shared experience, right? So would you say that you would create something like that in the future to give other people a voice to express what they went through and how they overcame it?
I never thought about designing my own symposium. Now you have my head turning, but I think that's exactly what I want to create. You know, I often ask people like what they think or what their ideal safe space looks like, feels like, sounds like. And I get all types of answers, you know? So I feel like when there's no one size fits all solution, that's when you can search out for more data because it's always going to be relevant. You know, it's always going to be new, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, I would definitely see myself do something like that in the future.
I see you as a leader. And from the first time we had a conversation, I knew that there was something special in you. You're the type of person that brings people together, like, you know, a magnet. And I feel like you have such a gentle spirit that you're capable of understanding others. And it's almost like a sense of empathy.
For sure.
And you have the capability of being somebody great and doing great things to help out the community and, you know, push it a level further so that those who do need that extra push and that safe space to go to, I feel like you are somebody that is going to do some big things, definitely 100%.
Thank you. Really, truly about the empathy part, because that's like the biggest lesson I took out of my undergraduate. Like UX design, you have to be empathetic because so much things in this world were designed for people, but not with those people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
gotta navigate carefully.
Yeah. I feel like you took a lot away from that experience being part of.
Trust me.
Yeah.
Honestly, like.
What would you say is your favorite thing that you took away from that experience and being in the symposium and speaking?
Just being back on campus. Because, like, yeah, university was a really crucial part of my life now that I look back. And I had been to University of Waterloo before, but years before, I think it was my second year in university, I got a scholarship award.
Nice.
And yeah, it was like, what will you create? And I wrote this paper about what I will create. And it's funny because when I went to the symposium, I wasn't really thinking about that. But after the fact, I definitely was. And I was thinking, oh, let me go back and read my What Will You Create paper that I wrote that got me the scholarship. And a lot of the stuff I said I'd do, like, I already did it. And I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like, not to like,
To your
you know,
own
toot
horn.
my horn, but
Yeah.
like from the men's group to like working on my own mental health and those of the people around me in my communities to like, thanks to film stars, getting my name in the end credits. Like, it's so much that like, I guess I saw the potential and I saw the blueprint for it, but I didn't actually know how I was going to get there until I was there. So I have a lot to be grateful for and thankful for. Definitely didn't do this all by myself.
Yeah.
Big shout out to my family.
Yes. I remember you were speaking about your mother and
Oh,
how
my
she
goodness.
made such a big impact in your life. And it was just,
Definitely a mama's boy.
yeah.
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 Everyone from high school knows it because she worked at my high school.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It's that love, you know, when you really love your children, you're there for them, right? And she did such a wonderful job. Shout out to your moms.
Thank you.
Yeah. And being part of the Film Stars project, like what did you take away from it? How was it for you being in the mental health program? What are some of the highlights of your experience?
Honestly, a big highlight was just the cognitive behavioral therapy lesson, like with the images and the stills from actual film and TV. Like that was cool because I always appreciated like still images. Like I'm a photographer, I have to. But a still from a movie that I've never watched is actually so much more interesting to dissect than a still from a film I have watched because I understand that still a lot better. So I feel like that whole lesson of, hey, what do we know for sure? And then what can we assume? And then bringing that back into our real world lens and like looking at the problems we come across daily with that lens and that sort of solution mindset. It was definitely empowering. And I was like, oh, I see what y'all did there. Like, that's very clever. So yeah, that was definitely a highlight. Learning that you can apply these things in everyday situations and literally every day.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was definitely a highlight.
Yeah, I was thinking about that because people's perception is different even though you guys are looking at the same image.
Absolutely.
And it's crazy because it's literally the same picture, but you can get like 1,000 different stories out of it. Like, you know, a picture is worth 1,000 words.
Yeah.
And to create those storylines for the characters in the picture, that was...
It's crazy.
Yeah, because it's like, I would have never thought about it in that way. And I think it plays on the piece of empathy, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like one person's opinion isn't necessarily above another's, you know, like to each their own. And I feel like everyone being able to contribute makes it that much more whole, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, you guys are definitely such a great group. I always say there was something so special about you guys because you guys were the last cohort. And like if anybody asked me, because I was present for all 3 of the cohorts, you guys had something different. Like when you guys were doing your speeches and your storytelling, I was brought to tears. And it didn't matter whose story it was, I was bawling.
Yeah, they all killed it.
Yeah, you guys did so amazing. And
Shout out my cohort.
Yeah, they were
All of
amazing.
them.
Even your story, like you just thought of it and you went out that night after and you did like a spoken word piece and you haven't done it for a while. I was just like, wow, this is like, you are inspiring me because you just did this thing and it inspired you to go out of your way and go out there and put yourself out there and share with people and, you know, give that healing element and passing it on to somebody else. I think that's so like admirable.
Thank you, because I definitely wasn't thinking about it like that.
Yeah. I mean, like everything that you did during the Film Stars project, it was just something else. And in that you produced a short film. Can you tell us about it? Like, what was you thinking?
Honestly, I felt bad at the beginning because I wasn't there for my group as much as I would have wanted to be. To the point where I was like, oh, let me just submit something so it's not like I'm not doing any work. I never would have thought like that would have been chosen as one of the final films at all. Like, not because the lack of other people's input, but just because like this is my first time writing a script for a short film. This is my first time trying to create characters that eventually were actually brought to life. Like, it was all very new to me, you know? And I love film from a little boy, but I never dreamed of like working in film until this year. So yeah, shout out you guys.
Oh, shout out to you guys because you guys are the
we
ones
did
that
it.
like
We brought
you
it
did
together,
that.
but it felt like we had really good guidance that was crucial. So
definitely,
shout out everyone a part of it.
Yeah, it's the teamwork aspect, right? How do you feel like? How would people relate to the film that you produced? Like, so what effect?
I guess how they. So the short film I produced, Shine Through. It follows a young person navigating the usual, you know, anxiety, trauma, neighborhood stuff. And it's like, I think that part of it, that like, okay, she's not perfect. She's not a superhero. She's not a protagonist necessarily. I think that part is really relatable because I personally don't know a lot of people that look at themselves in such a high regard where it's like they're like a savior, you know? And I'm not saying like we need more people like that or anything, but I feel like self-esteem, self-confidence, and like self-assurance goes a long way. So I sort of wanted to write a story that I personally obviously could relate to, but I already know a lot of other people I know could relate to too because they went through it. You know, they went through it before I did. They went through it while I was going through it, and they went through it after me. So yeah, I feel like it was just really relatable. It was also not too deep or too specific. That was one thing. I wanted to write a story that could be related to by the masses rather than a very niche, you know, group. But yeah, that was definitely fun. Got to produce, write. Oh my goodness.
And act.
And act. Oh.
Yeah, you did an amazing job.
Thank you.
I was there. I was like really feeling the emotions, like watching you. You're so amazing. And the thing is, like, you're so humble. And I love that about you.
Appreciate it.
I appreciate you. Oh, look at me. It's being a Pazima show. But what is one thing that you didn't get a chance to do in the program that you wish that you would have had an opportunity to take part in?
That's a great question. I naturally don't really think from a regret perspective point of view, but I guess it would have been nice to have more than one screening of the movies. I think that would have been cool. Maybe in like different areas of the city and like make it super public. Because I know it was a public thing, but the Nia Center is in such a crucial area of the city right now. You know, Little Jamaica, like, I feel like it was only able to reach a certain demographic. And it was really internal, you know? I invited a few of my friends and family, but I think maybe another screening or 2 or 3 would have been fun in like different areas of the city, for sure.
Yeah, definitely, because the city's so huge.
It's
There's
huge.
so many different neighborhoods.
Yeah, so much culture.
Yeah, I think that's a really great idea. Maybe take it to like the community centers.
Take it on the road.
Yeah, pop-up shop, pop-up film shop.
Get like a whole tour bus.
I was like, we're gonna do it. We're
Chuck.
definitely. But it seems like there was like a big impact on your life going
Trust
through
me.
the program.
Oh my goodness, I was going through some stuff.
Yeah.
I was like learning so much about myself.
Yeah.
You know, and I was doing a lot of things I had never done, like writing in that regard. Like I write blogs.
Yeah.
But a screenplay? Nah.
Never.
Holding a boom mic? Nah.
Yeah.
Lighting?
Arm day.
Yeah, like I learned a lot.
Yeah.
Very humbling.
How do you feel it's impacted your life, and why is it so crucial to have these type of programs for the youth?
I feel like it's really impacted me in a professional way because I never really, like I said, thought about having a career in the film industry. I just admired it, you know, what I thought was going to be from a distance until I met you guys.
Yeah.
But I feel like, I don't know, there's a lot missing that a lot of people coming from like the diaspora or even just marginalized voices, there's a lot that they can offer, you know, that I feel like isn't out there. So I'm honestly just excited to see what comes. Like,
Yeah.
it's bigger than us.
Definitely. I feel like it impacted so many different people, and having that shared experience, like bringing the people in the nations together, it's really beautiful to.
Because it's like, when it comes to the movies, like everyone could walk into the movie. Hopefully everyone can walk into the movie. But like, yeah, it's not something that's only for the private sector, only for the affluent, or only for people that look a certain way. You know, I feel like movies are very open source.
Yeah.
You know, and I like that.
Yeah, it's
Reach a wide audience.
definitely
Low barrier of entry, you know?
Yeah, definitely. What would you say to anyone that wants to know about the Film Stars project?
If someone asked me about the Film Stars project, I'd be like, I could call Chuck right now. But one thing I would want them to know is that it's, how do I word this? I feel like when you watch a movie, you're a passive observer. But in the Film Stars project, like, yeah, we made movies, but I feel like the project was really me and like how I fit into this whole world. So I guess what I would say to that person asking about Film Stars is, when you watch films, you know, you observe it. But when you go through Film Stars, you're not just a passive observer, you're an active participant, you know? And the thing is, you get to participate in you, but like with others in a way, if that makes sense. Like you're always developing, you're always learning, but when you get to do that with a group, it's different, you know? Like learning by yourself is not as fun as learning with others, if you ask me. So
Yeah,
that's what I would tell them.
definitely. You guys saw each other every
Week.
and you guys got
Almost
to grow
missed each
together.
other. Yeah, we like
right?
almost got to a point where
You guys were a really like close cohort.
yeah, we were calling each other out when
I know,
they
you guys
didn't
had
pull
a
up.
group chat and everything.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you, you touched on being able to be part of the process, right? Instead of just being a passive observer.
Observer of it, yeah.
How did it feel like to do the different jobs? Like, for example, let's start off with the acting. How was that for you?
It was really, really nerve-wracking. Not like I was self-conscious, but just because I didn't want to let you guys down, you know? I don't know if you know this, but I was like not supposed to be the actor for
Yes,
that.
I know.
filling
That's
in.
what I was
So,
going to. You came through. You were like last minute.
Yeah.
You didn't even want to act in any of them, but you took
I
charge.
missed the behind the scenes, right?
Yeah, but you took charge and you killed that role.
I think that's why I did it, because I knew like it's not for me. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I can act for me. Like
That's
I don't know.
interesting.
Yeah, not to get too deep or like.
It's like, but wait a second, don't you have a
retrospective.
YouTube channel?
That's what I'm saying, but that's all real. That's
Yeah.
really me.
Yeah,
Like, I'm not
okay.
acting on YouTube.
That's true. That's true.
So I feel like the performative nature of acting is always something that baffled me, but I was so intrigued in because I love movies. But for me to actually participate in it,
Yeah.
I was like, that's out of my wheelhouse. Like,
Yeah.
now clearly not. So
Yeah.
gave me a lot to discover and to reflect. Not necessarily nitpick, but there's a lot of areas of improvement and growth. So
Yeah.
I'm glad I just got to do that. I'm glad I got to hold the boom mic. I'm glad I got to adjust the lighting, hold the camera. Honestly, I just learned a lot about the overall filmmaking process.
Yeah.
But also the whole healing process too, and like
Yeah.
how they kind of go hand in hand.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have a newfound appreciation for movies that specifically deal with healing, you know? Because
Yeah.
imagine what they're going through while they're making that.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when we were doing the filming, you had like tears in your eyes, and I was
Yeah.
feeling the emotion from you, right?
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you, you said you did other aspects of the filming process and you held the boom mic. What would you say is your favorite task? Did you have an opportunity to be behind the camera?
No, I got to hold it a
Okay.
bit and like transport it, but to actually
Do the film?
shoot, no,
Okay.
I didn't get to shoot a scene. I think that's another thing I would have loved to do, but because like you said, I'm on YouTube, I'm used to shooting things. I didn't feel like I missed out too much. My favorite might have been the boom mic, to be honest.
Yeah.
I know it's arm day, but like
Yeah.
it's just so interesting to me to be like just slightly out of frame and like so crucial, because if I wasn't there, you're not hearing anything that's going on in the
Yeah.
scene. I think the boom mic was my favorite. Yeah.
Okay. You said that you've taken part in a lot of different programs.
Yeah.
I think you said something about the man's group.
Yeah, so I
Is it
started
for
this.
the older group? Because I think I have a T-shirt for
No,
the.
no.
Oh, okay.
This is
okay.
something else. This
Okay.
is like a small grassroots sort of initiative that I started with
Okay.
just some guys I know.
Okay.
It's called MMA, Men
Okay.
Making Amends. And
Okay.
I started a few years ago thanks to this micro grant I got from this Sprout Fellowship. And it's funny you mention it, because just this week someone messaged me on LinkedIn asking me to connect them because they have a youth that they think would benefit from my group. And I was like, oh my goodness, thanks for remembering me. Because we connected years ago when I was on this panel for it. And for her to think of me still like today, 3 years later, it's like, whoa. So I asked the guys, I was like, hey, you guys ready for a new recruit? And they're like, bring him on. So I'm still waiting to again contact with them. But yeah, stuff like that. These are the things I do on my extra time that like,
Yeah.
you know, I don't really get paid for, but when you get the payout of peace and like, you know,
Sharing
positivity
that
and
with
yeah,
people.
like the man to make it worth it, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
How would you say the Film Stars project is different from that program or any other programs that you've taken part in or created?
No, I went through this one program where it was like music therapy, and I had a great time. I had a blast there. But one way that Film Stars was like infinitely better than that, I feel like, is the check-in. You know, like
The phone calls?
the phone calls. The like, if I'm 5-10 minutes late, they're like, "Hey, what's going on?"
You okay?
It's like I'm coming.
Yeah.
It's just traffic.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you guys really made us feel like a part of a family. So
Yeah.
the Film Stars family is definitely the reason I feel like Film Stars is where it is right now. You know, they
Yeah.
make it so that you want to be a part of it.
Definitely. Yeah, I do understand. I was like, we worked very, very hard.
Tirelessly.
Yeah, we had a lot of people that were doing the registration and wanted to be part of the program, and it was so difficult to choose.
Yeah.
But I think we did such a great job. I feel like, we should do it in the future because I feel like it would help a lot of people. Because even from my cohort, I feel like it's changed so many people's lives.
Yeah, for the better.
Yeah, definitely. It's like just sends you on a trajectory, like from 0 to 100 real quick, right?
Trust me.
Yeah.
Busy year.
Yeah. With that, do you feel that the city of Toronto is doing enough to help out the youth in the city with programs like this? And if not, what could be that change?
I won't just give them a flat out no. I'd rather pose what's enough. That's the question I would pose. Like, what is enough? What is normal?
Yeah.
What is even at risk? Like, I feel like every youth needs help. And I feel like nitpicking the type of help that's offered to certain areas isn't the way to do it. But rather, there needs to be like a conversation, a two-way way of communication and like addressing root issues, So, yeah, I wouldn't say enough's being done, but then I would also say what is enough, because I feel like it's never really gonna be enough. Like,
yeah,
it's a hard battle we're battling, when it comes to things like addiction, family issues, just mental health as a whole. So, no, I can't say the city's doing enough, but the city's in a pretty tough fight. So, I'm glad that they're doing something at all.
Yeah, that's true.
I just feel like, more investment in programs like Film Stars. And
that is a good start. That is definitely a good start. But it was such a pleasure speaking with you this evening. Since it's the end of the year, do you have any goals for the upcoming year that you want to share with the peoples?
I do. I'm trying to solidify my author status.
Ooh.
Yeah. Right now I'm in the process of self-publishing a book. Yeah, just because people in this program literally said, hey, if you write a book, we're gonna run to buy it. And I'm like, I didn't know that.
Now you know.
I write, so I might as well leave something behind,
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited.
If you read, then get excited. I know a lot of the world's more interested in Netflix and stuff, but I'm sure we'll get there eventually.
Yeah, definitely. I wanted to say thank you so much for being here. We definitely have to continue this conversation. Sure. And with that being said, it's your girl, Ebby. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you have any further questions, you can holler at us at www.thefilmstarsproject.org. And Jonathan, I forgot to ask you, is there any way the people could reach out to you?
For sure. Like, you can find me on Instagram, Designed by Hazima. And my website will be back up very shortly, designedbyhazima.com.
All right, cool. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here, and thank you guys again for tuning in. Take care.
I'm chilling in the West End. Maybe I'm chilling on the West End Road. Oh, yeah. I'm chilling in the West End. Maybe I'm chilling on the West End Road.